welcome to a new video. It's Sunday and we are doing top-down analysis and weekly outlook. Firstly, as always, we are looking to see what is happening on the economic news calendar. And we can see that there is actually not much USD news. Like Monday, no news. Tuesday as well, only CAD. Wednesday, no USD news. Thursday as well. On the Friday we have CPI, which will be interesting, but first half of the week is pretty dry and no red folder news, which means that we need to be more careful, and that on the days that don't have any news we should focus on 9:30 opening and trading the indices, because they have the built-in volatility after the bell rings at 9:30. So yeah, let's see what's DXY doing. DXY on the monthly chart is sweeping the swing low, and we should seek the opposing PDRA, which is this swing high. On the weekly time frame we don't have much. There is just chop after we swept this swing low. We are still just shopping. We had the potential to create a bullish FEG on the weekly last week, but we retraced hardly and disrespected that potential gap. So we don't have any point of interest right here to move towards the higher prices. And weekly is mixed signals, just consolidation, so there is nothing to frame. On the daily we got bearish levels. We have this bearish FEG, but the thing here is that this bearish FEG is actually low probability because of how this third candle closed. It closed with retracement. And this is not a high probability FEG, this is actually a low probability FEG. And we can maybe potentially expect to disrespect these two FEGs and flip them and seek these highs, which is aligning with the monthly bias towards this swing high. As well, if we are going to go short from these FEGs, we need to keep in mind that on the 4 hour we have trapped order flow. We have this 4 hour FEG and we're gonna just be trapped between these two levels until one fails, so we need more price action, more confirmation. Let's see what's BTC doing. Starting always from the monthly chart. On the monthly chart we can see that basically we are sweeping both sides, high and low, sweeping the buy side and sell side liquidity, same as last week, nothing much changed. On the weekly time frame there is some changes. We actually didn't move up from this sell side liquidity sweep after this huge respect week, which we should go and seek higher prices, but the order flow was rejecting lower. And by the look of this last week or this week, however you want to see it, candle, we are still continuing towards this previous week low as drawn liquidity, so eventually we're gonna fill that week just by the current looks of this. On the daily time frame we have the narrative, the context area to move towards that low. So previous week low is our bias. We are drawing to this level, and if we are going to this level, how are we gonna go there? Well, towards this push context to the lower side, this FEG. This is our narrative to move lower from, which is also closest PDRA, this low right here. Now we need to see the confirmation from here after we fill that today. We need to see on the 1 hour time frame and on the 4 hour time frame that there is no trapped order flow. But we have the trapped order flow right here because there is FEG. So we need to disrespect this small level so we can move with high probability towards this low, because now the price will just juggle between those two levels. On the Ethereum side, let's go there. Monthly we have a fill of this monthly FEG with the SMT, and we have the relatively equal highs on the monthly chart right there, which is a pretty good draw on liquidity. Same is happening on the weekly, but we swept the swing low and we started to reject up with this huge respect week. But it's the same scenario as BTC. This week's candle was drawing lower, so we're just gonna wait. Either we sweep this sell side or just we disrespect the bearish levels and move towards this high, which has a big draw, because these are the relatively equal highs and it's bigger draw than this. But if the current candle is showing lower, we can do nothing about that. Good side is that on the daily time frame we don't have any context to move lower towards this low like we do on the BTC right here. So that means that Ethereum is actually stronger in the local time frames, however you want to call it, but for the now it is much stronger because we don't have those bearish levels. So if you're gonna go short, the focus is on the BTC. On the altcoins there is nothing much to talk about, basically the same scenario like last week. The only thing is that you can see on some altcoins that we need to disrespect this FEG. Now if we go through the watch list, you can see that some altcoins have those FEGs while some don't. And those altcoins that don't have those FEGs means that they're strong and that we should beat those altcoins. Because if you're going higher, we need to beat strength, and those altcoins have the strength. So for example, this one has the bearish FEG right here, but it's getting disrespected, potentially setting up the flip context on all the altcoins. For example, you can see that this one is also weak by the current look of this FEG, SUI as well, LTC. But for example, let's look at the Tau. It's flipping this FEG, which means that we're gonna seek this high. Tau is one of the strongest right now. On the Sunday it's pumping like 12%, which is pretty nice to see. Then you can see the hype. It does not have any FEG right here in the current order flow leg, which means that it's weak, but it's not as weak as all these other altcoins. And if you're going to pump it, if you're going to pump BTC and all the other stuff to move the market up, this will move freely because it won't have any speed bump like Solana has, for example. This is a speed bump in price. Same as ASTER as well. It does not have any bearish level, any bearish argument right here. So if we're going higher, we should do with such an ease, like a hot knife through the butter. Pendle as well. So yeah, just position yourself like that. And the biggest move for this week is probably gonna be on Friday because of the CPI. In the days prior to the CPI, some days market won't move with a high probability because the whole market is just anticipating those data on Friday. So be safe and safe trading.